So let's talk about something that I think a lot of us struggle with. How do you find your talent when you're pretty sure you don't even have one? We've all heard that advice, right? Follow your passion. But today, we're going to explore a totally different way of thinking. One that says maybe, just maybe, passion has nothing to do with it at all.
I mean, listen to this. This is a real comment from someone online. And wow, does that feel familiar? You do everything you're supposed to. You get the degree, you land the stable job, and then one day you wake up and think, wait, is this really it? What am I even good at? It's such a frustrating place to be, and trust me, you are not alone in feeling that way.
But here's the first thing we need to get straight. If you feel lost, it's not because you were skipped over when they were handing out the gifts. That feeling of being talentless isn't some personal defect. It's usually just a sign that you're misunderstanding what talent actually looks and feels like. See, here's the trap. We've been conditioned to look for this big fireworks and orchestra moment called passion. But what if that's the wrong target completely? What if real talent is way less dramatic and a whole lot more practical? And this brings us to a really powerful idea from a mentor named untalented. His whole argument is that we should stop searching for what we love and start looking for what we do most efficiently. So let's just park the whole passion conversation for a minute and zoom in on that one word, efficiency. So what does he actually mean by efficiency? It's really a simple formula. Think about it. Achieving the absolute best outcome while spending the absolute least amount of your most valuable resources, your time, your money, and your energy. That is the telltale sign of a natural talent in action. And this chart just lays it out so perfectly. Look at the left side. That's someone grinding it out, fighting against their own nature. It takes them forever with massive struggle to get where they want to go. Now look at the right. That's someone who found their lane, their path of maximum efficiency. They get to the same goal, but in a tiny fraction of the time. The point isn't just to work hard. It's to find the place where your hard work gives you crazy exponential results. So if this efficient path exists, why is it so darn hard to find? Well, that brings us to our very first roadblock. And it's a sneaky one, because more often than not, your biggest talent is completely hidden from you, simply because it feels, well, normal. Seriously, think about it. That thing you do without breaking a sweat. Maybe it's untangling a hopelessly messy spreadsheet, or effortlessly calming down a furious client, or maybe you can just listen to an engine and know exactly what's wrong with it. Do you look at that and think, wow, I have a gift? Or do you just shrug and assume, anyone to do that? Yeah, most of us do the second one. You don't realize you have a superpower until you see other people struggling with something you find effortless. That's what we call a comparison system. Without seeing someone else try and fail at what you do so easily, your talent just stays invisible. It's camouflaged as no big deal.
Okay, so how do you get this comparison system? Well, method one is the direct route, but it can be pricey. Just try a ton of stuff. Sign up for classes, learn new things, and pay super close attention to the one thing that feels weirdly easy for you when everyone else is struggling. But the second method is way cheaper and honestly a lot easier. The gene audit. Let's make this real. The mentor untalented did this for his own family. On his dad's side, he saw this clear pattern of people who were good with their hands. Mechanics, welders, and also really artistic. Everything from painting to carving fruit. Then on his grandmother's side, it was all about communication, the gift of gab, sharp wit, just being really persuasive. You see, your family tree isn't just a list of names. It can be a treasure map pointing to your own hidden talents. But here's the thing, even if you've got the perfect genes for something, you can still miss it entirely. And that brings us to the second, and I'd say most tragic obstacle, being a great talent stuck in the absolute wrong environment.
I know, that quote is jarring. It sounds awful, doesn't it? It was used to describe Antai's brother, and it sets up this really heartbreaking story about what happens when a powerful natural ability has no healthy place to go. So, his brother was just born tough, super resilient, a king of toughness. But where he grew up, that talent for toughness just led to fights and trouble. It wasn't until he ended up in prison at 19 that he finally found a positive outlet, sports. He could destroy guys who had been training their whole lives with almost no effort. He had the perfect genetic gift for athletics, but he discovered it in the one place he couldn't use it. An incredible athlete, completely lost because his talent and his environment never lined up at the right time. And it all boils down to this simple, powerful idea. You could have the genes of a Michael Phelps, a world-class swimmer. But if you're born and raised in the middle of the Sahara Desert, you'll live and die never knowing your gift.
your environment is everything. It's the soil that allows your genetic seeds to either sprout or just wither away. Okay, so let's imagine you've beaten the odds. You've figured out your talent, and you're in the right environment to use it. You can still fail. And this last obstacle is often the one we build ourselves, the wall of ego. This right here, this is the final boss battle. You know what you're good at, now you have a choice. Are you going to use that talent to make what you want to make, to serve your own creative vision? Or are you going to use it to make what the world actually wants and is willing to pay you for? A great musical example was used for this. Let's say you're a gifted musician. Your ego, your personal taste, wants you to be a modern rapper. You love it, but the audience for it is small. The market, on the other hand, is screaming for Kai Lun, a traditional type of Vietnamese opera, and they'll pay big money for a good performer. The path of ego lets you be creatively pure, but probably broke. The path of market need leads to becoming wealthy because you're giving an audience what it desperately wants.
And listen, this can be a tough pill to swallow. Just having a talent isn't the finish line. Real success, real efficiency, comes from aiming that talent at a problem someone else has, or a need they want fulfilled. So often, our ego convinces us to serve an audience of one, ourselves, and a brilliant talent goes to waste. All right, so we've navigated the big obstacles. Now, what do you actually do with all this? Let's make it super practical. Here is a simple 3-step action plan you can use to start your own talent investigation, like today.
First up, do that gene audit. Seriously, draw out your family tree. Don't just write down their jobs, but think about what they were good at. Look for those patterns. Step 2, create an experience budget. Set aside a little cash and commit to trying 3 totally new things over the next 6 months. It's all about creating chances to find what feels easy. And third, and this one's huge, create your own comparison system. Just ask a few people you really trust this simple question. Hey, what's something that I seem to do really easily that looks kind of hard to you? I promise you, their answers will probably surprise you.
Okay, to bring this all home, I want to share one last story. This is the ultimate example of what happens when a unique genetic gift meets the absolute perfect environment. It's where the magic happens.
For most people on the planet, 20/20 vision is considered perfect. It's the gold standard of human sight. It's what we call normal. But what if your normal was way, way better than that? The legendary American pilot Chuck Yeager had a true genetic gift. His eyesight wasn't just 20/20, it was more like an eagle's. And in his era, before sophisticated radar, a fighter pilot's life literally depended on who saw the other guy first. Yeager's genetic superpower, his totally unfair advantage, was put in the one place on Earth where it mattered most, the cockpit of a fighter jet. It was the perfect storm of genes and opportunity. And that really brings us to the final question for you. Chuck Yeager had a literal eagle eye, but your unique talent, that thing you do with the least effort for the greatest result, that's your version of his eagle eye. It's the gift you've probably been ignoring your whole life because it just feels normal to you. So the question I'll leave you with is this: what is the eagle eye that you're not using, and what is the sky it belongs in?